talk to Bob Lang, that those kind of questions are not asked of me again. Thank you. Appreciate it. The process has never changed. And, I'm just like, I was like, damn, this guy's all like, I don't know, man. Went to like a finishing school or something. Like he went to a boarding school. I thought I was watching royalty today. I see. I'm a simple dude. I don't know. I don't. Maybe Garry saw it differently. And then Nick Sirianni. Boy, I'll tell you. I'm going to ask Garry Cobb this because I believe I'm going to be right. You think that guy's going to be the highest paid coach in NFL history? Or do you think he's going to come in at around 16.5? How important do you think he is? Isn't it funny? You release. So before I get Garry, I want you to hear this before I bring you up here. So here's the Eagles press release, which is psycho if you read it. This thing's crazy if you read it. So here, listen to it. So the Eagles do this. And their press release yesterday was all about how we love consistency here with our football team. And our press release, here it is. I'm going to read it before I get Garry up. As an organization, we have always, under Jeffrey Lurie, I added, strive for great championship culture and sustained success that we created. Nothing is more important than fostering such an environment than having a tremendous leader and leadership. Okay. Nick has embodied everything we're looking for in a head coach since we hired him 4 years ago. His authentic style of leadership and Big Dom, football intelligence, all right, passion for the game, okay, and growth mindset help bring out the best in our team. I'm excited what the future holds for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, well, what's the future? Is it 3 years? Is it 4 years? How much money did you pay him? Is he making more than Sean Payton? Is he making more than Mike Tomlin? When Andy Reid was named the highest paid coach in North American history at $20 million a year, the Chiefs had no problem touting that. The Hunts came out and basically said, Clark Hunt came out, the owner of the Chiefs, and went, we have the highest paid coach in pro football. What's the commitment? We knew they were going to extend him. So I heard the Mulata and all the guys, and I saw the superstars there today. So let me bring in Garry Cobb now from Fox 29. He was there. And let me get his takeaway with this. I mean, okay, I don't think, Garry, that we ever thought that Nick wasn't going to be extended, especially after winning a Super Bowl. But do you think they make him the highest paid coach in NFL history, giving him $21 million?
No, I don't think so. But they didn't want to reveal it. He didn't want to reveal it. And I think they probably had agreement they weren't going to reveal it. But I don't think he's making the most. I think he's up near there. But I don't think he's making the most. But then again, I really don't know. But I don't think so. But, of course, he was happy. And he's singing the song, man. They told him, sing this song when you get up there. He starts singing. So he's not telling, man.
Why wouldn't you want to tell them? Even Jordan Mailata said today, what did he get? How much money did he get?
Yeah, I know. But they're going like, hey, multiple years.
What's the secret?
Multiple years. I don't know. But, it really doesn't matter. And it's going to come out.
Yeah, but don't you think that tells you what and how important they look at him? If you're not making him the highest paid coach for that resume, do you think the organization looks at that and goes, well, we won before him? And you know what? This is more about that press release itself made it sound more about what the culture they had set up with Nick parachuting in. And by the way, I'm just trying to find out how they look at him. Like, do you think when the owner of the team...
No, I could be wrong with who knows? He might be making the most.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you know what? And you know why? Because Lurie has shown that he does not mind spending the money.
Okay.
If it's something that he thinks is going to help them win, and clearly the guy's done an outstanding job. I mean, he has, Yeah, at times, with some of the stuff he's done on the sideline and everything, been blasted pretty good. But if you step back and you look at it, I mean, the guy was at a Super Bowl just a few years ago, and he now they almost won that one, but come back again this year and they win the whole thing. So he's been knocking at the door. He's been in the playoffs every year that he's been there. And I will give him credit, man. He's been getting better. He's getting better with dealing with the press. When he first got here, and Philly's not easy. Guys are going to be, right away. If you go, I hope they don't ask me that. They're going to ask you that. Then they're going to ask. So he's been able to deal. Like today, he was on top of it. He was on top of it, and you could see where he's more relaxed. He's not intimidated by the stuff. As you win a Super Bowl, you should be relaxed. But then he's getting into the things, and he has really done a good job, because the way they started out last year, he does have a team that's a very close team. Those guys, when they talk about each other, you can see that they defend each other. They're there with each other, and they're battling, and they talk about the things they got to do. And even in the auditorium, I was looking up there today in the auditorium. What they had up in the auditorium, they talking about causing turnovers and avoiding turnovers on offense, and they had the pictures up there of everything. I mean, he preaches just like a good coach is going to preach. What is it going to help for us to win? All we care about is winning, and he talks about it, and he's got more confident. I've seen that just from checking him out. He's got more confident as going on, and the players play hard for him. So, and that's what you're supposed to be doing as a coach. So I'll give him credit there. And who knows, he might be making the most, because like I said, Jeffrey Lurie has been willing to pay the money if it's needed. And then, of course, head coach is important. So
how about this, Garry?
Yeah.
Do you, outside of winning the Super Bowl, obviously one of the reasons for the extension as well, and like you said, the resume, do you think that one of the things that made Nick a better fit for the Eagles than Doug was that his willing to adjust? And let me give you some examples here. Howie Roseman adjusting from never drafting a linebacker, paying a linebacker, paying a running back.
Yep.
And you go into the bye, and you are not known for being a running offensive-minded coach. You are just not. I mean, every stop he's either had Phillip Rivers or he's been with Frank, they've thrown the ball from the pocket. This guy's not going to turn around and go, we're going to go for 35 passes down to like 20 and 19. Yes. That's not going to happen. Do you think that one of the reasons that also sold him, because let's face it, the 2-2 start, people were screaming at his name 8 months ago. They're screaming his name. Should this guy be fired? I mean,
talking about the machete.
Do you think that ability to evolve and change that quickly was also an endearing thing to what those guys like, and how he fits better than maybe even Doug ever fit?
Without a doubt. I mean, look at that adjustment that he made, to go with the strength of the team and flow with it, and everybody wasn't comfortable with them, basically taking the ball out of Hurts's hand, and really doing everything offensively around Saquon. Amazing. I mean, they really, and the fact that they wore teams down, and by the time the end of the game, Saquon's taking off on 60, 70-yard runs for touchdowns, and telling everybody drive safely. This one is over. And they did that. And, and he basically said, hey, what does it take to win? We don't care how we win. And, Jalen was out talking about that today. Hey, look, we don't care how we win, and a quarterback can say, hey, man, I want the ball, and a lot of times, a veteran quarterback, older guy, he wants to sit back there and throw the ball. But Jalen's is got really it's circled what is really important, which is find ways to put W's up. Ultimately, that's all that's going to matter. And they made an adjustment last year because they never played like that. They never played a game like that. Even though they had outstanding offensive line all these years, they never said, okay, I'll tell you what, We are running the ball down your throat. I want all you guys to get that. Like when they come out for the coin toss. Hey, you guys, let me tell you something. Whoever the opposing team is, we got some bad news for you guys in your defense because we're running the ball down your throat. Okay? Now, if you don't like that, maybe you need to go back to the locker room because we are running the ball down your throat, and we're gonna make it. We're gonna do it so much, we're gonna make you like it. You know, and they did it. I mean, I gotta give them credit. And Nick, you know, they made the adjustment because at first I'm going like, you know, but hey, Saquon, they rolled through the whole season, and really not until the Super Bowl, nobody really stopped them like that. I mean. But, you know, you got to give KC credit. They stopped them, but they wound up with a 40 spot on them.
Absolutely. Know? Gary, let me ask you this then. Do you think in Philly, because there's been such a precedent set now, that as fast as he's got goodwill now, and the way the owner is, dude, I'll tell you, the owner is pretty emotional at times. I mean, he makes emotional decisions here. Could that thing swing back the other way in any kind of form or way where if they go like this, say the Patula doesn't work. I mean, do you think that the owner of the team is too emotional when it comes to sometimes these decisions? Because it seems that, hey, you know, when he's talking about the Buccaneer playoff loss, he goes, it's embarrassing. They almost fired him after that. The 2-2 start. People were like, this guy needs to go. Could that reverse if this thing went south this way? I mean, is he too emotional, the owner?
I don't think he's too emotional. If anything, I just think he's been, how long has he been in Philly?
See? Since 95?
It had to rub off on him. This is Philly, man. This is Philly. What do you say? They do not have a lot of patience, and you know what? They want to win. You know, everybody wants to win. It's about winning. It's not about, you know, whatever the ratings or whatever. Look, win. That's what it's all about. It's really not that complicated. And if you stop winning, there are going to be problems. You know, so you know, but that's the NFL. Philly does the NFL straight up raw, man. It's like, you know, the kind of guy going, man, I know you're gonna cook that. Hey, nah, man, I'm gonna eat it raw. You know, that's Philly, man. They are not playing around. It's all about winning. If you win, we love you. If we find out you're a loser, then we're gonna get the machete out. You know,
absolutely, man. I'll tell you.
I mean, and that's the way they do. And so, I think that. You know, for them to turn that fast, it would take, you know, I mean, it's not impossible. You know, it's not, and it's not like, you know, they're going to wait around and let you, you know, keep screwing up. You know, it's only going to go but so long. I mean, like if he were to have a bad year this year, they wouldn't can him probably. You know, they wouldn't can him.
Look, you're not, you even put 10% out there on you. You gave yourself 10%, Gary Cobb. That's not fair. I heard you.
Look, I don't think they would can him. He's going to get at least a year, you know. But, I mean, come on. Look at the other guy.
I know. I'm with you here.
This is Philly. And you know what? Philly loves the Eagles more than any of the other teams.
Oh, absolutely.
And so they care. So you see the people, man, if they lose, man, and people, you go in there, I'm going like, I understand. You know, people are, man, what happened? What's going on with such and such? You know, I can't even go get something to eat. You know, people, hey, it's going to be all right, man. Relax.
It's great. It's civic pride. They
care.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles.
They care. And because they care, what you said is not, you know, we'll go, oh, that would never happen. No, I'm not going to say that could never happen. That's
the thing I've learned about Philly. Don't ever say that can't happen, because it surely can happen in Philly, because they may like you for 10 months. If you shit the bed, they're on your ass the last 2 months of the season. That's for damn sure here.
I mean, and that's what it is. And you know, they care about this team, man. They care about this team. And throughout, you know, You even got like basketball players, right? Over here, we're talking to some basketball players. They go, oh man, can't wait till the season starts. They ain't even talking about their season. Talking about the Eagles. Come on, man.
Hey, I got a couple more questions here for you, and I want to play a game with you here. Who do you think this coming season that you can't live without more? Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley?
I think it's going to be Jalen. I think they're going to throw the ball more this year than they did last year.
Wow.
You know, I think. Are
you a fan of that? Are you a fan of that?
I just think it's a thing where they're going to adjust to the defenses because defenses have looked at their running game.
They said that today.
Yeah,
they have to evolve.
Yeah, so I could see that happening naturally, and your boy AJ. He didn't say it. He didn't say, I want the ball. He didn't say that. He don't have to say it. Okay. He's a wide receiver, man. Come on. I never played with any wide receivers. Well, any of them that were any good wanted the ball, man.
Hey, but Garry, did you hear him today? He goes, I don't know what it's going to look like.
That's
I just know this. This thing's got to evolve, and we got to evolve as an offense. And I was going like, you mean throw me the ball? Why don't you just say it? Throw me the ball.
Hey, he said, hey, all he's doing is getting ready to play, and he's not getting into that. But we know that's the deal. Hey, any decent wide receiver, they want the ball. They want the ball some. And last year, they really took the ball out of Hurts' hands, and they really, shut the offense, the passing game.
Totally.
It took a back seat, and, hey, you win a Super Bowl, that's great. But I don't think they're going to keep that up. Plus, I don't think they're going to put all that weight on Saquon. Come on. You're trying to make him age quickly,
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to put that on him. They're still going to run the ball a lot, but I think they're going to throw more. That's what I'm saying. I think they're going to throw more, and I think defenses are studying all offseason how they're going to stop that pass. Their running game. Come on. The defensive coordinators last year, man, the guy ran for however much yardage against. Those guys don't go home and sleep, man. They don't stay. They're up. They go, honey, what are you doing in there? They put that tape back on. They're going like, man, look, I'm going to be out of work if we don't find a way to stop this guy. So they're in there looking at that tape, man, those defensive coordinators. And so they're going to try different things, as you saw with Kansas City. Kansas City basically put everything in. We're going to stop Saquon. Well, they stopped Saquon, but they got the big L on their head, And so, they got to be able to take advantage of opportunities they're going to get because people are going to try to stop Saquon Barkley.
You are the perfect person. I got two more for you. You are the perfect person to ask this because tell the folks, you do a lot of stuff with the NFL Players Association, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a conspiracy theory. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
All right. So this bullshit flag football thing, okay, so the league has just okayed for the NFL players to participate in 28 in the LA games.
Yeah.
What a better way to stay out of a courtroom than to somehow, because they're starting a league. Serena Williams is buying into it. The owners are putting a league together for flag football, and they're going to start implementing NFL players in this league. Garry, I am a conspiracy theorist. All right, I admit it.
Okay.
However, what's the biggest fear for owners? Having to admit CTE is a real thing because of football. What a better way to take, like Troy Aikman said, the helmets away and have flag football and have it be a prominent thing with superstar players. What a better way to transition out of it and take the physic. Look at what they're doing on a yearly basis, Garry. They're taking the physic of defenseless wide receivers. You can't hit anybody.
You're right.
You don't even know what a sack is.
You're right. You're right.
What do you make of this flag football thing?
I don't think they know where it's going, but they got a feel for some things now, which you can see the way they're doing the game was they want scoring. They want, the great play downfield and everything, So I don't know where it's headed. Let's say you come back here, 50 years from now, maybe this is the NFL,
Garry, do you think the game is what it was 20 years ago?
Well, it's clearly not the same game. No, it's not. It's not the same.
Do you think LT could play in today's NFL?
Oh yeah. Okay, come on.
With the physicality of how he hit quarterbacks.
Well, he would have to change some things. He would definitely have to change some things. But he can get to the quarterback, so he would.
You think Jack Tatum? You think Tatum
when he gets back there? Well, Jack Tatum will have some problems.
Yeah.
No, he would have, come on. You can't hit people like he would hit people. He can't do that. He would be getting in a lot of trouble. Well, he get tossed. Come on.
You think Ronnie Lott could play in today's NFL?
Well, he would have to make adjustments again. They would not let those guys go in, head first and hitting the other guy in the head too. So they would have to alter some things, and I think they realize that. Yeah, I'm sure that
Andre Waters could play today.
He would have to change his game. Same way.
Yeah.
They would not let those guys play. Where they're going. Hey, they're looking for that chin shot.
Yeah, you're looking for that good night. You're looking for that good night shot.
That's right. Hey, after like a good boxer, he's looking for that chin, man.
Yeah.
You cannot, they do not want guys looking for the chin. They don't give you a chance to look for the chin in today's game.
Flag football's coming.
I tell you, there's part of it that people love. They love the big play.
Of course, they love the big hits. I love the big hits.
Well, I'm talking about the big play. I'm not talking about the big hits.
Oh, okay.
The big hits, come on.
All right.
Come on. The NFL does not love the big hit.
No, they don't. No, remember they used to sell. There used to be a video. Remember the NFL biggest hits?
Yes.
You can't find that thing anymore.
No, you can't find that now. No. I mean, and the guys you mentioned, come on, all those guys were big hit guys. Somebody coming across that middle, are you crazy? Reaching up there like that, chin all open.
Kenny Easley, man,
Kenny Easley too. Yeah, those guys would have to alter their game. They would not turn them loose the way they did back then. This is a different game. They don't allow that, and I tell you probably need to call the commissioner because some of the plans and stuff you're talking about. I don't know what they're planning up there. I don't know
either.
But I tell you, people do love a wide open scoring game. They do love that. And you know what? You probably got right there? The women love it. The scoring.
And you got the moms letting the kids play without having any kind of BS conversation.
Bingo. You got it, man. You got it. And I could see where they're thinking that way. But it's definitely a different game. It's more of a passing game. It's more of a wide open scoring game and that sort of thing. So clearly that's where it's going. We'll see how fast it goes, though. But when you start talking about the things they're doing with the Olympics and all that and everything, who knows? I'm just going to get out of the way, man. I mean, hey,
it's a great way to get chicks involved in it too. Like you said, I mean,
you're right.
Get even in the game here. Final one for you.
And women love the game. Come on. Look.
Oh, they do.
I know.
Garry, 49% of the audience is women.
Bingo. Look at that.
They
love it. Yeah, they're passionate about it, like the guys, man.
Yeah.
And so I think it's wise on their part. They're looking ahead. They're seeing what kind of changes what we need to make, and guys, like ourselves, we got to get out of the way, man.
Hey, old man, get off my lawn, dudes. I got it, man. Get out of the way here.
Get out of the way, especially, get out of the way of the money. Now, don't get in the way of the money now.
Sound like my wife.
Hey, if you get in the way of the money, that's the way to say them say adios. You know.
You know what? I always tell people this, Gary. Yeah, the NFL's prejudiced. They only look at one number or one color, green.
Yeah.
That's the only color they give a shit about is what sells. And that leads me to this.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is more of a decision with the tush push today or tomorrow? Do you think that this is more of this? That just doesn't look aesthetically pleasing of a play on TV that's going to help us. I mean, it's, I tell people this all the time. The worst play in football is the extra point, but that's a commercial stop set. Every time you kick a field goal or an extra point, you go to commercial. You make money on that play.
That's right. That's right.
When you're looking at the tush push play,
are
you looking at it like you just got through saying, Gary, everyone likes the explosion plays. Yes. They like the big plays down the field.
Yes.
And watching a team scrum it 4 times a game for 5 or 6, 7, 8 yards, that probably doesn't look good on the tube.
Well, but see, I don't see it as that. This is what I think.
All right.
And I can understand them up in New York thinking this way. Who is the most valuable player on each team? As far as they're concerned, who's the most popular player? The quarterback. Okay. Who might be in jeopardy? Now, now Hurts can run this play. How many of these other quarterbacks can really run this play and be safe? You know what I mean? I don't think they want a lot of them.
Guys can't jump over a stack of pennies.
They do not want some of these guys running that play because if they get hurt and now their quarterback's out, they do not want that, man.
Oh no.
Well, that's why. Come on, they've changed things to protect everybody, but who do they protect more than anybody else? Though
quarterback.
They want to protect that quarterback. If you breathe hard on the quarterback, they're going, look, you know what? Breathe hard on him one more time, and you're out of here because that quarterback is the money. Come on, it's part of putting those people in the seats. The people's name that they know is they know the name of the quarterback, and therefore I don't think they want to run the risk of some of those guys running this play. They don't. Come on. How many of them you'd say, no way, I would not want him running that play? No. They do not want those guys running that play, man. They want to say, you know what? We want to go a different direction. We don't want our quarterbacks running this play. Now, maybe Hurts can run it, but we do not want these other guys running the play because they will get hurt.
I don't want Burrow running that play.
No, come on. They do not want them running that play, man.
Or Tua.
Come on. You don't want even Tua to even see it. You tell him blind his eyes.
Yeah, no.
No way you want him running that play. And you want him back there throwing that football, and that's what you want all the quarterbacks doing. You want them back there throwing that football, and I don't think they want us going in that direction where you got quarterbacks running a play like that.
Man, I tell you this, and you tell me if you think I'm wrong on this one. More to protect the quarterbacks than any other quarterback in history. And where I'm going with this is what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they don't want a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl when these owners are investing $60 million to $50 million in those guys.
That's right.
To have some substitute actor. I brought this up to Gary.
Yeah.
Last year in 2024, the top 100 TV shows, 89 of them were football.
Come on.
Okay, 89 were football. Like regular season games, playoff games. The Super Bowl obviously destroyed any other television programming.
Yes.
You don't want to put a substitute teacher, right?
That's right.
In that game, especially when you got 100 million people watching.
That's right. Come on. You got a movie. Come on. You got a movie. They're promoting the movie. Here you got the stars out of the movie. We going like, man, I'm going to see that movie. I mean, such and such is not in. Come on. Who would have a movie and don't have the stars? So I think that that's that simple, and they do not want them running that tush push. So that's why the tush push is, I don't know that it's gonna be able to hang around.
I'm with you, Gary. So how was NovaCare today, man? They carted out all the stars. I mean, Mulata was there, AJ was there, Hurt, Nick, everyone was there. I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody back to work now? Is that what this is?
Yeah, it's back to work right now. Yeah, it's back to work. They're getting to know these young kids. See, they're getting a chance to see them now. To give them a little taste. Start saying, hey, young fella, jump in there for a play. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. So you start seeing some of these guys because they know that later on, it's going to take some time, but they need some of these young kids to help them in this first year. See, so they got to find out. A lot of times they find out, who's got a little bit up here and who they go like, oh well, we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait on him. They got to find out, who's got it up here. Who can make good decisions and that sort of thing. So they're getting a taste of it. And then a lot of the young kids are meeting their, the veterans, see. So the veterans are getting a look at them too. And, they said that some of them have looked pretty good, but they haven't really gotten that serious yet. They're up there working out and everything. But, we'll find out, shortly if any of them going to be able to help them in this first year, because that's what they need now is, we need to see who can help us this year. You other guys that are going to be on the long-term plan, then you get over in the other line.
Hey, Garry, I wore this in honor of you today here at Black Knight. See this right here, Stanford High School right here.
Yeah.
And I got to leave you with this here.
Okay.
The most obnoxious fans in the history of the United States of America will be Knicks fans. If that team wins the NBA championship.
Oh, man.
Hey, Garry, you would swear 1973 happened last year.
I'm telling you, man.
Right? I mean, Earl the Pearl Monroe was still playing for those guys.
I remember those old teams with who was the Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, and those guys. Yeah,
hey,
Bill Bradley and those guys.
If they win with Brunson the NBA championship, you will never hear a more obnoxious fan base than the New York Knicks and the New York fan base, because you would swear they've been a dynasty for the last 10 years. I'm not rooting for the Knicks to win this.
You're right. You're right. Well, I can tell you probably the NBA is rooting for them.
Oh, you bet. Oh no, they want the Knicks in this thing to win this thing because they need New York. New York hasn't been relevant since Patrick Ewing.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Hey, because I hear New York guys go, we're going to win the NBA. I'm like, guys, shut up. You haven't won an NBA championship in 40 years.
It has been a long time, man. It has been a long time.
I mean, even the Sixers have won an NBA championship before you did.
Hey, I remember I was a kid, right? And my older brother, he had done something. He played ball. And my older brother, James, Willis Reed and Walt Frazier came and took a picture with him in Stanford,
No way.
Oh yeah, after they won the championship, and I mean, going like, man, are you, going like, you still here, man? You over here taking pictures with Walt Frazier and Willis Reed, man. He was floating on a cloud, man. But they had a great team back then. But I don't know if we can take the Knicks, man.
No.
Some people, it's just because some of their fans are just so obnoxious.
Oh, completely. Hey, Garry, I used to, when I lived in Stanford, I used to cut the lawn of Larry O'Brien. He lived up near Pound Ridge.
Yeah, you're right.
And I cut, he was the former commissioner, the trophy's named after him.
That's right.
So I'm up there near the Italian Center.
Yeah.
And I'm mowing this dude's lawn. He comes out. And all of a sudden, this guy comes out. He's got Bill Bradley with him. I'm like, is that Bill Bradley Knicks? And sure enough, there's Bill Bradley with him. I guess this was like right after he retired.
Yeah,
went on to become a senator or something.
That's right. Yeah,
and Bill Bradley's at his house. I mean, Robustelli lived up in that neck of the woods.
That's right.
That's where Jackie lived too. Jackie lived.
Yeah, I know. I mean, who knows? Every now and then we had a game up there. So I knew what it looked like up there, but of course we didn't live up there.
I don't know what well, you lived on Strawberry Hill. Is that what you're saying?
We lived on the other side of town. Okay.
Oh, I see. So you lived on the west side. All right.
Hey, no, I really live on the east side,
Okay, on the east side.
But it was, I'm not going to say the poor east side. I'll just say the east side, okay? I'm not going to say the poor east side. I'm going to say the east side, okay? Yeah. But anyway,
hey, Garry, how good was your high school football team at Stanford High? Did you guys
we won a state championship like when my freshman year, sophomore year.
Mike Haggerty was on that team, right?
Yeah, Haggerty was on there, but we really won it with was a guy named John Darling was our quarterback.
Oh, yeah,
and we had some good teams, with those guys. Because, really, I used to hang around with my brother. My brother was on the teams of winning, and I got to know a lot of the guys then. So they called me Little Cobb.
Yeah, man. Your family, dude. Your brother, basketball. If I'm not mistaken, by the way, I've talked to him. I think he lives in Phoenix still.
Yeah,
he's a teacher there, and I've talked to him.
I know.
I knew him. I knew him.
Was that Ernie?
Ernie, and I'll tell you, man, Ernie, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the leading scorer, like in Stanford history and FCAC history.
Hey,
right?
Hey, Ernie. Wait, when Ernie started feeling it, man, you might as well know. Hey, he'd be dropping them from anywhere. I tell you, if he was playing now, man, with this 3-point thing, boy, he would be lethal, boy.
Who's that guy that played at Norwalk that played for the Rockets?
Yeah, I'm trying to I know. You're right. There was a guy that played for the
guy that played for the Rockets, and they won, like, I forget his name. He was a little guy.
Yeah, he was a little guy.
And he was like we had great athletes in our area.
And then you go way back to Calvin Murphy,
That's it, Calvin Murphy. Calvin Murphy.
Yeah,
he played at Norwalk.
Yeah, Calvin Murphy, you're right. Yeah, Calvin Murphy. I mean, he was from another planet, man, that Calvin Murphy. Great athlete, man. Great athlete. Little guy, but he could fill it up, man.
Absolutely. Garry, this has been awesome, brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you again for coming aboard, man. Make sure you check him out on Box 29 in Philadelphia. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Have a good one. All right.
Our good friend, Garry Cobb. I got to bring something up to you. Does anybody know the name Ernie Cobb? Does anybody know the name Ernie Cobb? Come on. Let's see how smart you are. Abe says no. Does anybody know who Ernie Cobb is? Jason, no. Okay. None of you. Come on. Who? Okay. Now that you guys are probably Googling it, negative, I will tell you, Ernie Cobb was part of the Boston College point shaving scandal. Yeah, his brother was indicted on the Boston College point shaving scandal. He's a teacher now in Phoenix. Any relation to Garry? It's his brother, Henry Hill. Right. Goodfellas. Little salty dog there. That's all we're doing. Hey, man, what sport point shaving? Basketball? Right? Not many people know that. Great dude. Ernie Cobb's a great dude. Great dude. Massive mistake in his life, but he's a good dude. He's a school teacher now in Phoenix. It's true. He's a school teacher. I think he also is like the basketball coach, and he's very, he doesn't want to like go public or anything with that. But it's never been proven. Cobb agreed. That's right. That's why he was, I don't think he was indicted, Emrys. Help me out on that. I thought he was, but maybe it was just questioning. I think there were a couple guys that got busted for that. I don't think he did. Yeah, Garry doesn't bring that up much. I'm surprised he said Ernie. Ernie can play, man. Ernie was one of the best high school basketball players I've ever seen. Okay? Right. That's right. Hey, I know, man. Yeah. The Cobb family's legendary in New England and Stanford, where I'm from. Legendary. And Henry Hill got to couple of the players on the team. And I don't really think I think Ernie just got caught up in it. Yeah. According to I think you're right though, M. Reyes. Yeah. What is basketball? All right, John Morgan's gonna join us. And we'll get his thoughts. We're gonna go around the horn here with sports with our friend John Morgan. Speaking of that, don't forget, folks, Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in America. And the reason they have $30 billion in recovery is because they win. Told you about the family in Pennsylvania that got $26 million in recovery. Family down in Florida that got $12 million. All these insurance companies came in with a claim that was so unbefitting of what their issues were. Morgan & Morgan went in with thousands of attorneys and made sure they got what families around the country expect, and that is fair treatment. Look at what's happened in California with all the families that lost their homes. Morgan & Morgan is going in there and getting restitution for those families. That's exactly why you hire Morgan & Morgan. Log online and go forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident,